Words fail me. They absolutely fail me. This is the Chelsea Football Fancast, or more likely, Wayne's blooming world of football, I think. But there you go.
They thought they liked that, though, didn't they?
But just because I moaned at them for not putting it up. The people out there probably don't know what we're talking about. Well, they never do anyway. But anyway, I am Stanford Chidge. You are Dr. Mart. You are most definitely Burger Al. And this is Sir Darren of Mantle. How about that?
I'm promoting your Frank Lampard one.
I promoted you.
You have knighted him today, Sirrah.
I have knighted you. Or something like that. Now, we should get on with this. So, of course, I'm Stanford Chidge, Chelsea Fancast, blah, blah, blah. Now, we are talking about the Chelsea versus Stoke game, which I thoroughly enjoyed, not least because I had a few beers and we won 3-0. And my great friend Ross, under usual duress, did a fantastic number on the old Ross's ratings. And I'd like to inform the general public out there that it was me that put that graphic together today. I hope you're impressed.
Very good.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's one of the best,
real work of art,
best you've ever done, actually.
It's kind of like colouring in for 40-year-olds.
It's very green.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
Very green. I didn't do the green, that was already there. But they are. Ross's ratings are, they are, Cech got 6, Ivanovic got 6, Cahill got 7, Terry got 7, Azpilicueta got 7.
Dave.
Or Azpilicueta. We don't call him Dave on the show, Martin. We're banned from that. Lampard got 7, Willian got 8, Matic got 7,
Willian.
Schürrle got 7, Torres got 7, and Salah, Salah got 8. And Hazard came on as a sub, he got 6, Louise got 6, and Ashley Cole got a stonking 7. I mean, I don't know about you, Darren. I thought, considering the fact that we controlled the game pretty well, I think that's a pretty decent ratings for Ross this week.
Yeah, I think I probably agree with every single one of them.
Other than Torres.
You think that you got too many?
You should have had 5.
No, you ran around loads.
Running around loads, I can do that.
Look, if I want a misery guts on this show, I'll phone up Andy Jacobs to talk nonsense.
I was a bit worried about Torres when he got skinned by Ryan Shawcross, to be honest. Beaten for pace.
Who did?
Torres.
Yes.
Come on, I could beat Torres
chase in the second half. And
look,
Ryan
I'll tell you,
Shawcross beat him.
it's very, very difficult with this Torres thing. Actually, I want to talk about Torres fuller later because I think there's a lot in there. But I take your point. I think that possibly a little bit generous, but
I like it.
Yeah, you're okay with it.
Saying as well, they thought we were in the shed upper, and you could see a lot, especially first half. He was running around. I thought he put him under a lot of pressure. He put him under a lot of pressure, John. He was hassling people. He was pressuring
people under pressure when you're playing that role.
It is when he wasn't getting a service.
There was a great moment when was it Shawcross chested the ball down to one of the Stoke players, chested the ball down to him, and a proper striker just stabs it into the net. He controlled it, allowed Begovic to dive on it. It's that kind of thing, instant inability
that was the problem.
to diff the goal.
He didn't control it. That was the
you
problem.
know what? I'm going to do something that I never normally do.
You're going to ban me.
I'm going to. I ban you every week.
That's true. You do.
I'm going to cave in.
I'm
going to cave into peer group pressure, and I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to just rip up the script, and I'm going to talk about Torres now. That's the kind of way I roll.
Oh, sorry, we've.
So now you want to change the subject?
Yeah, no.
Let's do it now. Let's do it right now.
Okay.
I thought personally that he showed a lot more effort. So, I mean, he was abysmal against Palace. I thought he showed a lot more effort against Stoke, but I still think that he was a little bit poor.
I don't think he was necessarily great, but he doesn't get the service. I know he doesn't necessarily always work for it, but I don't know. I thought he put in a good shift.
Look at that, the gallery have realised what we've done. They've realised that we ripped up the script, that under duress from Jonathan, we've reversed it. They've found the still that's out of sequence, and they've put it up. And I think they deserve a round of applause.
Good reaction.
You know what that's called?
I give them a hard time every week, but they've done it good.
Doing it on the hoof.
There we go. That's how we roll on this show.
That's what it's called in our business.
Anyway, so
on the hoof.
I mean, look, I'll tell you what really interests me about this, particularly, because there was a little bit of debate going on about this, I think, at the weekend, but what I found particularly interesting is, having absolutely coated him off all week, Jose coated Torres off even more than a lot of us do, all right, but after the game, he kind of backtracked a bit, and it was all, you know what, he put in a lot of effort, he put in a shift, he's trying hard, we need to give him a bit more, and I just wonder if Jose thinks that he went too far a bit, because he got a bit of criticism for sticking the knife in.
I would also say, though, that Jose probably thinks he's got to try and talk him up, because if Jose berates him, he's going to get even less money from him in the summertime.
Yeah.
And also to keep his confidence, because he has to keep him, he has to make Torres at least believe he's going to start matches, that he's valuable and whatnot. So you've got to say nice things. I don't think it helps if you do a Harry Redknapp and just come out and just say your whole team's rubbish.
My what was it? My grandma could have scored that. My wife. Rosie, my dog, could have eaten that football.
With a stick of rhubarb.
Rosie, my dog, could have filled in that tax reform. Oh, she did, didn't she? Anyway, the thing is, though, I mean, it's all very well and good saying this. I think that it's fascinating to me. Sorry, I'm going all over the shop here, but I think it's absolutely fascinating. Jose Mourinho is the best man manager in football in the world, beyond doubt. And yet even he is finding it perplexing knowing how to manage Torres. So he's tried sticking the boot in and kicking him at the rear end. It doesn't work. He's trying giving him lots of love. It won't work. This man, Ancelotti, AVB, Robbie Di Matteo, Rafa, and even the man whose name we cannot mention, the man who must not be named,
all of them
even
failed.
He couldn't get a tune out of him. And now the best manager in the world
can't do it either.
I mean, what does that tell you, people?
He's got a crisis of confidence.
Got a crisis of something, mate.
Yeah. Well, he's still making the runs, and Darren, you're right. He doesn't get the ball. He makes the runs.
He makes better runs than
He never
Torres.
gets a ball at the end of it. No, Torres makes the runs all the time.
Well, apparently he's had a few.
He makes his nice curved runs, but he never gets the ball. But he does actually run at the keeper when the keeper's taking a goal kick. He does do that. I've noticed
But he
that.
doesn't run as well as Eto'o does. In any way, Eto'o makes much more creative runs,
And he's old.
and he's older than him. He's 41.
And
isn't he?
Demba Ba, who's got feet the size of a boat, he
doesn't
makes,
get a go.
We've got a question on the bench. I'm glad the gallery are working well tonight. That's two good, one bad so far. I'm liking this. Okay, Dan.
With more a comment on Torres, every time he seems to get what he wants, he gets injured or sent off. He starts really well, gets an injury, then he starts again. It's 4 or 5 weeks to get back to where he was. He never seems to have 10 games where he has a really good run and scores goals.
I mean, I don't want this whole part to be taken over by Torres, but there's a point that I thought about weirdly in the PSG match, Dan, and that is that, you know, Chelsea still play in many respects. Their plan B is to play like they did when they had Didier Drogba as a striker, i.e. play the kind of football where you need a big, physical, dominant striker who can both hold up the ball on his own when he's up there and make chances for himself or bring in others. The thing is this, no matter how much we criticise Torres, he has never been that kind of centre-forward. He has always been the kind of centre-forward who plays on the shoulder of the last defender and has a 20, 30, 40-yard ball whizzed across into the channels by somebody like Steve Gerrard. And the fact of the matter is, that's always the striker he was. And I still think that he was injured a year before he joined us playing for Liverpool, and he just doesn't have that explosive pace. No. So we don't play the right way, and he can't be the player he was because he doesn't. You know, he's lost that because of that injury.
But he also appears to be unable to hit the target though whenever he shoots.
I don't think he ever. I mean, this is what I can't work out.
That before?
I don't know because some of the goals that you saw him score for Liverpool, the technique he showed. I mean, that goal he scored against Blackburn, and what was it? Us actually, it was us, wasn't it? It was us. That volley
on the corner of the box.
I mean, you know, that shows he has technique, and I think maybe it's if you don't feel 100% physical, and I've heard this with sportsmen, if they don't feel that they're 100% physically fit, it actually affects everything. Their whole, you know, confidence and their technique goes to pot.
It's like golfers getting the yips, isn't it? Yeah. But he's like that. It's confidence. It is confidence because his technique's deserted him. His body language looks awful. He looks like he doesn't want to be there.
I would say though that the goal we're talking about was November 2010, and we signed him 2 months later, and that season it still took him 3 months to score for us. So we can say about how good that goal was and things like that, but why can he do it like literally just a couple of months later on?
Well, hey, do you still think he's going?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I still think he's going. Benches,
When's his contract up?
2 years. Benches, do you still think he's going? Yeah, unanimous. Frankie, what do you think?
No doubt.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah?
I think he's probably going to go to play in Serie A somewhere.
Do you think your friends in New York put a contract on him, maybe?
Some don't like him. Some don't like him. I personally like him. I feel his goals did a lot for this team and should be remembered.
Hey, Frankie and Stan, I've got a saying for Torres, all right? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? I mean, that sums it up, really.
Who can forget that goal against Barcelona, after all?
I love having these New Yorkers on
And
the show.
also the goal in the Europa League final was great.
Yeah.
Was a great
Anyway,
goal.
enough of Torres.
Do you think he knows already that he's going, and this
I think
might be
maybe
a reason why he's not playing as well?
What I would like to
Well, he
talk
should be
about now,
playing better,
what
so
I
he
would
gets
like
more
to
money.
talk about now, before I punch people in the face, is Willian.
You're so dominant.
Is Willian. No, I'm getting showered at in the gallery.
Oh, okay.
Sam's in there tonight, not Greg. Greg's a lot more gentle.
Okay.
He is. Yeah, he's much better bedside manner. Anyway, Willian. There we go. Lovely photograph of Willian. I've got to say, we've got to talk about Willian because I thought he was absolutely brilliant in the number 10 role this weekend.
Yeah, he was great.
You know, he wasn't playing out wide, and I thought the way he controlled the whole tempo of the match, his energy, absolutely brilliant. But what I think is really, really interesting about it is that because he kind of rested Hazard and Oscar, you know, it's good to see that we've actually got quite a lot of depth in this squad, that we can bring a player like Willian into the number 10 role, and he does a fantastic job. What say you guys?
It's lovely to hear his name pronounced properly.
Willian?
I get fed up with hearing Will.I.am. It's Willian.
You've just not got a sense of humour, Mark. You know.
No, I haven't.
You
I admit that.
But that's why we kind of love you.
But I think the way he played allowed Salah to reveal that he was a much better player than we thought he was.
Yeah.
And it gave, and it actually was a very decent alternative and a good pointer to
was,
what may
wasn't it?
happen next season.
I thought Schürrle did all right too.
Yeah,
See,
I think he was freed up by
I'm a
it.
big fan of Schürrle. I've
Until he
got to
got
say.
kicked.
Well, he got trodden on by
he
Charlie
did.
Adam. What a disgraceful pub player Charlie Adam is.
Yeah, but he's a very typical Hughes player, isn't he? Sort of turned in. Hughes quite likes that kind of
Man
player
in his
team.
own image.
Well, yeah, there is a bit of that, isn't there?
I have
But
to say, I loved Hughes. I love Hughes as a player, though, when he played for us.
But no,
He was a
Charlie
handful.
Adam is an absolute thug. He's done it. Repeat. Look at him. He's got a face only a mother could love.
He beat up his dad, didn't he?
And that's actually the gallery have just informed me. Not even his mother loves that face.
Yeah, he had a fight with his dad. I think when he moved to Blackpool, his
Did he?
dad came down and they were having dinner. Then they had an actual
Physical
punch-up.
fight.
Yeah.
Horrible man. But he did. He stamped on Schürrle, and I think actually it's probably why Schürrle ended up going off. But I thought Schürrle had a good game up till then. I like him. He looks like Johnny Bravo. He actually looks German, which I think is good because he is German. And I like his energy. I like Schürrle, and he did a fantastic turn. And we'll come back to that in the fannies, I think.
It was a funny
But
moment.
going back to Hazard and Oscar, a lot of interesting stuff in the papers this week. Apparently, PSG are going to buy them both for about £3.50 or something. I mean, what a load of rot. Surely not.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not really sure about these, but from speaking to Mr. Jeffrey about it, he said that
Paul's in it now, isn't he? He's ITK.
Well, what he was saying was the guy on Twitter that he thinks started this story is a Chelsea supporter. I forget which journalist it is, but
Dan Levine? Not
no,
Bruce Chronicle.
I would remember if it was Dan Levine.
Is it Rick Sharma?
No.
Is it Paul Langan?
No.
I'm right. I'm
I know,
out of
they're
Chelsea
the ones that I'd have
journalists.
known as well.
I'm out.
Whoever it is, he
Martin
said.
Lipton.
I don't think it was him either. No.
But how on earth could they take this seriously? How can they take? Why would Chelsea sell two of their best players?
The original
but
story is
hang
one
on
of
a
them.
minute,
They
no.
said he was told he had to sell either Hazard or Oscar to if he's going
balance
to
the
buy a
books.
striker. Yeah,
No, but
that
hang
was the
on.
original
But
story.
Mourinho's already said he'd take 300 million for him, isn't he?
Yeah, he did. That's something about it. Yeah.
But do you know what? I tell you what. I mean, it is
Buy a
actually
new team, then.
It is Martin Lipton who brought this up, and he should know a lot better because Martin's a bright bloke and a nice bloke. Actually, it has to be said. I know Martin.
Makes really good tea as well.
He does. Not to be confused with his mate Earl Grey. But
I
anyway,
used to play cricket with a bloke
did
called
you?
Earl
What with
Grey.
Earl Grey?
Yeah, yeah.
You're so posh, Jonathan.
I
aren't
know.
you?
I am. Yeah.
You're double barrel, really, aren't you?
Howard Kidd. Jonathan Howard Kidd.
Kidd.
Yeah.
Jonathan Howard Kidd.
Yeah, Kidd
not,
did.
not Howard
Three
Keel.
Ds.
Whip crack away, mate.
Yes, that was it.
Anyway,
Very good, Chiz. I get that one as
shut
well.
up.
Nobody else has.
I know. They're all too young.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, what was I going to say? Martin Lipton, that's right. He came out with this, actually, and I am surprised because Martin's bright and he knows his stuff. But here is the deal, people. There's some, I think it might be one of the guys who does, it's Vital Chelsea.
Yeah.
Brilliant website. There's a lot of people who go on there who know their stuff. One of whom tweeted or put a blog on there ages and ages ago about how the whole deal's going to work out with financial fair play. Without boring you stupid, because of the people that we can sell and the reductions of salaries by the people that we can sell, we will probably have a war chest of about 100 to 150 million this summer without having to sell Hazard and Oscar. So it's absolute
rubbish.
errant nonsense. Ignore it.
And all the people we've got on loan, which we could just sell. It's
Well,
whether
I
we
mean,
keep
Marin,
Lukaku, who sells them.
Romeu.
Yeah.
There's so many of them.
I'd have Romeo back.
There's rumours about Lukaku though.
Why? You've got Van Giegel.
Is he any good though? We don't
Yeah.
know.
We
I
don't
think
really
he- I
know.
think
He's only
he
played
is.
3
Is he a
games.
good player?
Benches are nodding.
Benches think he's a
Benches
good
are
player.
nodding.
Good old
They
Barry.
know.
Yeah, you got
Thank you,
stuck.
Benches, because I'm ignorant about Van
Right.
Ginkel.
Okay, tell us about Van Giegel.
Van Ginkel.
Sorry, Van Ginkel.
Very good young Dutch player, great technique, good midfielder, good range of passing. He's exactly what we need.
Yeah.
Complement Matic superbly.
There you go. Dan Silver says it. It must be right. But anyway, look, bottom line is, Martin Lipton, as much as I love you, Hazard and Oscar are not going anywhere. It's absolutely rubbish. You're just saying it because you support Spurs and it's
Sell
wishful
Luis
thinking.
instead,
Now, actually, that's a very good point. I'm glad you mentioned Luis because I wanted to talk about Luis because we did talk about that awful Charlie Adam, the pub player, stamping on Schürrle. He then kicked poor old David Luiz in the chest, didn't he?
Yeah, he did,
Boy.
but I don't know what David Luiz was trying to signal to the ref. Because Adam got annoyed because David Luiz was pulling up his shirt and pointing to like wherever the mark was. Adam was getting annoyed.
I would, but it would frighten everybody if I did that.
But I don't know what David Luiz's point was because the referee gave it for a high foot. He got the free kick for it, so I don't know why he kept pulling up his shirt. Unless
I
you're
think
saying
he wanted him to be
booking.
sent off.
But I
It
don't
should
think
have
it
been a
was.
card. Wasn't even a card.
Yeah, but it wasn't like head height, it was chest height. I don't think it was a booking.
it was
I
a
remember
few.
last year, Evra was sent off
Excuse
for doing
me,
exactly the same thing for United.
May I speak?
Of course.
Didn't
No, actually don't. Yeah, no, come on then.
didn't that Heitinger get sent off in the World Cup final
Yeah.
last time round by Howard Webb for
and
doing
so,
exactly
and,
that?
And so did Evra in the,
So
in the
did
Man
Evra.
United game for doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
So that was why he was saying, look where he's kicked me.
Reasonable request.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
And it was Charlie Adam.
And he got revenge on a completely different player. Which
He
was
did.
a little
He left
bit
his foot in,
silly,
didn't he?
Yeah.
He is a bit naughty like that.
Yeah.
I noticed. I mean, we'll talk about the PSG game later on the show, but he does. I mean, as you know, I'm struggling with this because secretly I like a bit of ill discipline. You know, I'd like it if he got fouled nasty, that he went up to the player, just whacked him in the face and got sent off, but at least he'd made his point.
Yeah,
So I'm the wrong person to ask.
Yeah.
But it is a bit silly and it is a bit ill disciplined.
Well, we'd probably get about 30 million for him, though, wouldn't we?
Well, yeah, we were saying last week's
week.
show that Barca, but of course now they've had their transfer, their ban
Oh,
from
yeah.
They'll be
transfers.
rescinded.
No,
They
no,
always
they
do
I
it. They
think
did
it
with
might be
Arsene
rescinded to a
now.
season where they were debating.
well, we'll
it,
see.
but
Platini
it's
won't
rather
have that, will he?
serious.
But Pep Guardiola likes him.
Is it Pap?
I think he's Pap.
Okay. Yeah.
But
He gives me the pip.
yeah.
no, it's not funny, Mike.
Is he poop?
Leave the jokes to me. Poop Guardiola.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
you
thank
take
you.
it on to a whole new level.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like
He's
that.
a pup, though, isn't he, really?
Oh, shut up. But he likes David Luiz. He likes David
Yeah,
very
Luiz. He
much.
liked him when he was at Barcelona.
Yeah.
So, Bayern might fritter away a few million on him.
Yeah.
I like David Luiz. I've got to be honest. The benches
I
are
do.
nodding again. We're getting nodding from the
But,
benches. No,
Chidge,
whoa, hold.
but.
Let's have a look. I want to see nodding. Look, nod, all nod. 1, 2, 3, nod.
It's a big
There we go.
but. By the way, that but that appeared at Paris Saint-Germain is the French for goal.
Is
By
it?
the way, yeah. Because people kept saying to me, what's that but that kept coming up on the
You were
screen?
there. We'll talk about PSG later. I think
So do you think Pep would get the pip if we sold him a pip?
You get the poop.
I'm not even going to.
I would hope David Luiz is still there next season just to go
get
back
the
to what we're
part.
talking
But
about.
look, I would not have a problem with that. We'll just carry on with
Ready
us.
on
Let those two lunatics.
However, Jose doesn't know people that, like David Luiz, can be a bit of a liability. And like you're saying about him trying to get revenge on someone, does he sometimes lose his cool with things? And does Mourinho really...
Agreed completely.
When he's got
he
a
is
message.
definitely in no way a Mourinho player.
No,
in
I
no
don't
way.
think he is. Too ill-disciplined.
No, absolutely.
Mourinho likes discipline.
Well, the game was completely turned on its
I
backside.
mean, basically,
in
Mourinho's
Paris.
like Madam Spanky of football, really, isn't he? He likes to discipline players.
In what way, Chidge?
He likes to discipline players.
Discipline, okay. Madam Spanky. That's
I'll
interesting.
give you her number, Jonathan. In Soho.
Monsieur Spanky would be better, I think.
Oh dear. Anyway, talking about, I'm getting a bit defensive, and I'm not surprised. But we should talk about our defence because I don't want to let this part go. Look at that thing of beauty. Look at that. That is Branner, Ivanovic, Gary Cahill, some random useless player from North London, John Terry, and Thedar Biliqueta. We've got to mention the defence because they are absolutely supreme. They are impregnable. That not one goal has been conceded in the Premier League at home this year, as in 2014.
Yeah, I didn't realise that.
No, I didn't either. I think that's an amazing stat. I mean, PSG aside, we'll talk about that in a minute. But,
No, it was Man United.
Man
It's
United
3-1.
Okay, excuse me, but we've got a Statmeister
Yeah,
on
it's
the bench.
January 20th.
Shush.
Or 18th.
Statmeister, Chad, am I right or wrong?
Hernandez scored in the 3-1 game.
But everybody knows that goals by Hernandez don't count.
Yeah.
Well, anybody call Hernandez?
So technically I'm right.
Yeah.
You can't let somebody called Little P have to besmirch my impregnable defensive stat. No, not happening.
It's the one goal that's the exception that makes the rule.
It is. But come on, we need to give them a bit of love because I think that they are at home
Well, I've
fantastic.
noticed that JT has had an immaculate season, isn't being praised as much as he
I
should
think
be.
that JT is the immaculate conception, mate.
Yeah, okay.
He has been brilliant this season.
He has been absolutely
And
remarkable.
Cahill,
And I
great pairing.
think Ross was a bit
All right.
tough on Ashby giving him a 7. I thought he was better than that.
I think
But
he's-
Ross
he's
is a
my player
hard
of the
man.
year.
We've
He's my
got to
player
go.
of the year.
We've got to go to a break, and when I say we have to go to a break, we have to go to a break. But afterwards, we will be dishing out some awards in our match awards, the Fannies for the Stoke game. I cannot wait. See you in a minute.